Welcome back to another episode of What the Fuck Are the Planets Doing Today? I'm your host, Brooke, and I had to take me a little break. That Cancer full moon nearly kicked my ass. It was a 12th house full moon. So I had to go in my Cancer shell and kind of be. Anyway, I did want to make this. I am recording this on Thursday night, and I'm going to go ahead and post it early because I'm seeing a lot of shit hit the fan. Okay. Now, I did share with you guys on the 7th, okay, to avoid large crowds. There was going to be a lot transpiring as far as protests and things like that. So we're still in the thick of this, and this is just the start, okay? So I do want to note that we've got Venus, the Sun, and Mars all at 19 degrees. Now, on Thursday, we've had all of them at 18 degrees, which is the reason why shit's truly hitting the fan. But I do want to know they are just within that 1 degree orb of that exact opposition with Jupiter retrograde. 2 to 3 degree orb square with Chiron. So this is forming a Cardinal T square. Now I do want to note that we've got the moon that's going to be joining that on Saturday. So Venus is going to be the first one to oppose Jupiter, and that's going to take place at 12:34 p.m. Eastern time zone. Okay. And we're going to have the Sun and Mars exactly conjunct. And then we're going to have the Sun oppose Jupiter on Saturday first. Okay. And that's going to take place at 3:41 a.m. And then we're going to have Mars oppose Jupiter exactly at 9:24 a.m. And then on Sunday, we're going to have Venus square Chiron. We're just getting started with things truly lighting up. Wounded warrior, aka the military, and I want you all to keep in mind that we are going through a revolution, civil war, and a world war. Okay, we're not quite in those exact transits yet. Like, we've got Uranus is going to have to go back into Gemini. We got Neptune and Saturn getting closer to their conjunction. They're going to ingress into Aries in February. And so when Neptune ingresses into Aries, that's going to be, another part of that war transit. And it's not just happening in the United States. Like, this is happening globally. We're all going through this around the world. We're all seeing it. We're all feeling it. There is a divide, not just in the United States, but we see the protests that's happening in Iran and what's going on there. Same thing that's been happening in Izzy. We're seeing it here in the United States. We're going to see this globally. Okay, it's not just going to be here in the US, because we're all feeling this. Okay, and we all chose to be here at this time. We all chose to go through this. This is not anything to be afraid of. However, by this summer, July 3rd, we're going to have Mars and Uranus at 3 degrees of Gemini in a conjunction. Sudden revelations, sudden revolutions, so we're building up to this, okay? It's just the first week, but keep in mind, we are still in the snake year, Okay, it does not officially become a horse year until February 17th. So keep that in mind. There's still some old that has to be shed. Avoid large crowds unless that is something that you're meant to be here doing, leading the cause, the revolution of what you're here to do. I'm not recommending it because you could either get new bracelets or you could get, okay? I'm just saying, emotions are extremely heightened, specifically with, these oppositions and this T square. There's going to be change. There's going to be revolution. There's going to be pew pew, okay? So focus on your energy. Focus on what you're building. Try not to put too much focus on what's going on outside of you. Got the knights, okay? He's the warrior. He's the one of love. So, there's Cupid's leader maybe next. He may be whoop pulled right out. I'm just saying. So, it'll pass. This is going to be a fast transit. Like, we're only going to feel this for a few days. But keep in mind, we're going to have Venus square Chiron. We're going to have the Sun square Chiron. We're going to have Mars square Chiron. And then Mercury's going to be joining right after. Okay? Mars is going to square Chiron on Tuesday. Sun's going to square Chiron on Monday. And then by Wednesday, Mercury's going to be opposing Jupiter. So, feels like we're at a crossroads. Feels like we got to make a decision. We got to pick a side. And you can pick a side. I picked the side that's going to be the most beneficial for humanity. What's truly the best for humanity? What is truly the most healing? Where are we going to reap the most benefits, the most rewards? And sometimes when there's too much control and we're too nice and we let too many things slide because we want to be a good person, that's when the takers will continue taking. I am not supporting, I'm not encouraging any of those things. I'm only explaining what's going on. People have truly had enough. And you can see it. You can see it. You can feel the energy in the air, okay? Even with Pluto. Keep in mind, we had that Pluto and Mars square that we're going to be building up to. Because we had the square in Scorpio. Mars is going to conjunct Pluto, and then it's going to move and square it. So we're going to see more of this over the next year. Keep in mind that Mars and Uranus opposition, that happened right before we had that square. Okay, these things are building up. And it might feel painful. It might feel like there's no way through. But the scales have got to be balanced, okay? There's been some not so good people in power. And so those scales, Libra, those scales have to be balanced. I would highly recommend not being in large crowds. It's not the time at all. Too many things can go sideways too fast with this astrology. So something major could potentially happen as Venus starts its opposition with Jupiter squaring Chiron. And then definitely as Venus squares Chiron. And when Mars opposes Jupiter, the next, up until the 14th, things can be very intense, all right? So keep that in mind. Be mindful of your surroundings. Call in protection. This is not the time to be traveling. It's just not, all right? I love you all. Stay safe. I'll see you soon.